Welcome back. We're continuing the news. In part 2 of our 3-part series on violence in schools, specialists are reporting that mental health disorders are partly why students engage in violent behaviors. Sandy Williams has our story.
According to a global school-based student health survey, 1 in 3 students experience bullying, and a similar proportion are affected by physical violence. More than a third of students have been involved in a physical fight in the past year, based on data from 96 countries and territories, including Jamaica. 36% of students reported being in a physical fight with another student at least once in the past year. Overall, around 1 in 10 students report a high frequency of physical fighting. In the past year, 10.6% had been in a physical fight 2 or 3 times, and 8.1% 4 or more times. But what's the driving force behind the violent behaviors? For child and family therapist Dr. Beverly Scott, there are psychological factors at play.
What happens is that at home, they're abused. Sometimes when they're going to school, the last thing they hear is an abusive word. And so they come to school with that mindset. So the little thing that happens to them, they are going to retaliate. They believe that life is too short for them. I remember a 14-year-old telling me that he doesn't think he's going to live to 16 because of what was happening in his community. He feels that he's going to die soon, so they feel threatened.
This is the Microcare Center. It's one of the oldest institutions in Jamaica that provides diagnostic, therapeutic, and other intervention services to children between the ages of 4 and 18 years old.
According to Associate Clinical Psychologist at Microcare Center, Junie K. Scott, the top 3 behavioral challenges are attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and conduct disorder, which she explains is the most severe of the 3.
This looks like a child who is frequently engaged in fights at school, maybe over the simplest thing, somebody steps on their shoe. This is the child who is destroying other people's property, maybe carrying weapons to school or other places and engaging in those types of violent activities. They're destroying other people's things, maybe breaking into houses and cars, and in some instances, they're mutilating or hurting animals.
A student with conduct disorder could be very problematic in the school system because the behavior is consistent.
And it's happening for a period of time, anywhere between 6 months to a year. So this is consistent behavior.
The associate clinical psychologist believes that academic intervention can be used as a tool to counter the issues.
This is one of the remedial intervention classrooms. Now, the walls of the class are plastered with learning charts, and this is just for reinforcement purposes. On this section of the classroom are multiple material for fundamental literacy and numeracy skills development. On the wall here is an incentive chart where students gain stars as they improve in either behavior or performances.
The feedback that we generally get from our parents and our children are that once they have come into our academic services here, they're able to reintegrate back into the school, general school system, having gotten the foundational concepts that they may have been lacking. And for the others who are going to require more long-term intervention, we act as that referral point to get them into special education.
In part 3, we'll hear what measures caregivers and educational institutions can implement to tackle the behavioral challenges among students. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.